Everybody, I'm back. This is Chuck's Corner. I just want to say, you know, I got to get into this Ezekiel Elliott thing. Roger Goodell is perhaps one of the worst commissioners I've ever seen in any professional sport. This guy has no filter, has no chill. He does any and everything he wants to do. And because of the dumbass NFL players, he's allowed to do pretty much anything he wants with immunity because Article 46 in a collective bargaining agreement that these dumbasses agreed to allows Roger Goodell to determine suspensions. He could be the judge, the jury, and the prosecutor, whatever. He could be everything when it comes to making a decision on a case, whether it's good or bad, whether it's indifferent, whether it's whatever. So in Ezekiel Elliott's case, he was under investigation for a alleged domestic violence case with his former girlfriend. I'm not going to say her name, don't need to say her name, but this was an ongoing case that happened a year ago. But he wasn't charged with domestic violence because there were too many inconsistencies with the quote unquote victim's testimony. So you had two different police departments, one from Ohio, one from Florida and Fort Lauderdale, I believe, that investigated and walked away with nothing. So they ended up not charging Ezekiel Elliott, so case closed, right? Nope. Roger Goodell took it upon himself to reopen the case about the start of the winter and continue to investigate it all the way up until the point of him suspending him, a little over a week ago. Now, the funny thing is, as the story started to trickle out, as the reports started to trickle out, it turns out that the head person in charge, the head counsel for Roger Goodell, who's supposed to handle domestic disputes, domestic violence, any type of sexual assault, anything that has to do with, players, taking advantage of women, her name's Lisa Friel. She was brought in to handle these situations. Roger brought her in for her special counsel, for her expertise in this matter. And, the woman does have the prerequisite skills to do such a job, to have that type of authority because of her former job. She was, head prosecutor for for the sexual assault division out in New York City. So she knows what the hell she's doing. She was doing it for 20 years. So she's a professional when it comes to domestic disputes, domestic violence, sexual assault. So as they investigated, reports come out that Roger Goodell got Lisa Friel's opinion. As he was getting her opinion, he brought in 4 other additional people, some kind of special counsel that also investigated this. And Lisa Friel, the person that he has in charge to handle these types of matters, was to preside over that 4-person special counsel. So as they deliberated and came to a conclusion, Lisa said to Roger, this is as reported, I can't sign off on a suspension. So Roger still took it upon himself to suspend Ezekiel Elliott, even though the person he put in charge to handle this matter couldn't sign off on a suspension because of the gaping holes, the inconsistencies in the case in general. Now, this is why 2 police departments couldn't charge him as well, because it was just so many inconsistencies because the victim lied about numerous different things. And, there's also some bizarre thing that came out that the person tried to blackmail Ezekiel Elliott to get cash out of him. And I don't know if that's what's true or not, but there's people on record who's given an affidavit saying that this person, was making up stuff. So the fact that Roger Goodell ignored all of that, he ignored all the investigations through 2 different police departments, then ignored his special counsel, Lisa Friel, is pretty evident that this guy needs to get the hell out of his position because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And he just doesn't care. And the point of the matter is this. Roger Goodell will continue to do these things. the end of life for Roger Goodell is beginning. It already has begun. It's not necessarily being a fan thing, whether you think Ezekiel Elliott is innocent of all of this or not. It's about the law, and it's about handling things in an appropriate way. Nobody won from this investigation. Nobody won from the suspension. Now they're putting now the players union is involved. They're fighting the league's suspension, their decision to suspend. So who knows where that's going to go. And then you have Jerry Jones looming above all of it to see how the whole outcome is. So we may hear something in the next few days, hopefully, to see if they withhold, if they keep Ezekiel Elliott, keep the 6-game suspension for Ezekiel Elliott, or we may hear a reduction. We may hear whatever. Regardless of the point, it's not a good look for the NFL because of how they went about the process. It's not a good look. And furthermore, this is just one big additional nail in the Roger Goodell coffin when it comes to his tenure as commissioner. Let's be real. Once the collective bargaining agreement comes up, I believe that's 2020. I could be wrong. Once that comes up, believe me, the Players Association will have a clause in that new document, in that new paperwork that says, before we proceed, this asshole has to get out. And I think the owners know it. That's why they're trying, there's also reports of Roger Goodell being, them floating out an extension for his contract that can go all the way out to 2024. Regardless of whether he gets an extension or not, he's not going to serve the whole thing, the whole term, because it's going to be in conflict of the new collective bargaining agreement. So owners only have this clown in charge because he's done one thing well. He's been a horrible commissioner when it comes to policies, when it comes to just the overall representation of the league, in my opinion. But he's done one thing, and one thing that the owners care most about, and they care more about this than they care about winning. He's done one good thing, and that's he's done a great job at empowering and enriching every owner in the NFL. All of their pockets have gotten fatter. The players have been marginalized, and the owners love that. And that's why Roger is still their guy. But until the new collective bargaining agreement comes, he will still be reigning terror among every player until it can come to an end. So I think the guy's time will be up very soon, especially once those new television contracts come up. Because, look, let's face it, the only reason why he's been able to put money in their pockets is because of all these big TV deals that he signed. Those TV deals will expire soon, and they won't be as profitable, and they won't be as, let's say, they won't be as big as they once were, because those contracts have crippled companies like ESPN. ESPN was laying off talent, laying off people of production. It was a horrible deal for ESPN. So you think ESPN is going to sign a similar deal once their deal is up? No. So the revenue for the NFL will decline. It will. And Roger, the only leg he had to stand on was that revenue. Once that revenue starts to decline, the owners will turn on him. And I think it'll happen before that because the players are going to get his ass out. But anyway, what you think about the whole Ezekiel Elliott case? Do you think I'm off base here? Or are you just kind of confused about the whole process? So what's your thoughts in general? Because I think that it's just another example of Roger Goodell gross, abuse of power. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, if you're new to this site, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to the subscribe button right here. Hit that notification button. I got some new videos coming up. Thank you. Until then, peace.